Hey guys, this is Bhagyashree Ghosh, a verified educator at Unacademy. You are on the course English Grammar Leveled Up. And in this lesson, you are going to read about preposition, and this is going to be the second part of it. So do enroll in the course, give it a 5-star upvote and share it among your friends. And do not forget to download the Unacademy learning app from Google Play Store if you have not yet downloaded. Okay guys?
So let's get started with the lesson English Grammar Leveled Up Course 3. This is about me. You can read more about me from here and the link by which you can follow me and get access to my other courses on Unacademy. Preposition Part 2. It is going to be a very important plus useful lecture because today I am going to literally present you almost all the prepositions and it uses with lots of example, and today definitely lots of doubts are going to be clarified. So let's get started. Are you excited? I am excited, guys. So here is the first one. Above versus over. Now many a times I get confused. When I was a student, and I also used to get confused with the words, with these two words. Preposition is such a subject now that it comes that we can only master it by reading lots and lots of things. So when I was a student, I used to be very confused with these two words. So here, above is just like this. You can see this picture here. Okay, let us read it later on. Above is that something that is fixed above something. Okay, and over is that, like in this example, the cat jumped over the chair. Maybe the cat is standing here, the cat will jump over the chair and he will go like this. That is over. Now let us see the difference technically, grammatically. Above is related to something which is above, something which is positioned above a fixed place. The place is fixed. Okay, the fan is above our head. Okay, so now you understand that you are in a room in which above your head there is a fan, so the fan is fixed there. Means either the fan should be fixed, either what is positioned above, either that should be fixed, or means something should be fixed. Okay, in above case. Next example. His name was written above my name. So wherever my name was written, his name was written just above my name. So here I am using the word above. Now, the plane was flying above 35,000 feet. So now we know the altitude of the plane. It was above 35,000 feet. So these are the uses of above. Now in what cases we will use the word over? First is to cover fully. If we want to cover something fully, like he put a blanket over me while I slept. So while I was sleeping, he put a blanket over. So over is to cover fully, right? Then they ran over the bridge. So there is a bridge here and they all ran over the bridge. Maybe there was a marathon going on and all the runners, they ran over the bridge. Imagine the situation. There was such a crowd, lots of people, they were running and they were running over the bridge, covering the bridge fully like that. Okay, then next, to show speed. Sometimes we try to show speed. Not speed just does not means driving anything and getting the speed of it. Speed relates to something moving. Speed relates to verb like things, like birds were flying over our head. So flying is something related to moving. Verb, speed, that's it. He ran over the distance. So he ran over the distance. I am saying ran over. Now the word ran over is again something which is related to movement, and that movement is being done. So here the word over. As I said, guys, that there is no hard and fast rule for preposition. It's all our observation that will make them strong and all right. Next is talking about age. What it is, like we use over to talk about age. All those over 2 were invited, means all the people who are over 2 years. Okay, they were all invited there. Is this over 2 now? Maybe it was maybe the word he. let us assume it he is over 2 now, means maybe we are talking about a small child, he is more than 2 years old, so we are talking about that he is over 2 now. So these are some uses relating to above and over. Okay, now let us see something else. Across versus along. Now how will you justify across versus along? Across means from one end to other end, along means together or parallel to. Like, okay, this is something, okay, and if I say cut across, so cut across means you are going to cut it like this, okay, this whole thing, this piece of wood, you are going to cut it like this. Now if I say that this is a long building, this is a road or something, run along, so it means that you are moving like this along with it, parallel to it. Try to understand the things. Okay, let us understand it with examples also. Across, if there is a bridge across the wide river, imagine this whole thing is a river and there is a bridge here so that you can cross the river like this. So this bridge is allowing you to cross the river, so there is a bridge across the wide river like that. Then you will see such scenes across the country. So maybe such anything, okay, you will see such things, such scenes across the country. Okay, this is relating to across. Now along, okay, we walked along the river. So we cannot walk in a river, right? Means we cannot walk in a river like this. So if this is a river, so we can walk like, means parallel to the river, right? So we can walk along the river. That's it. Then the dog was running along the road. So there was the road, maybe he was running along the footpath or like that. So it is like this. So we can use it like this way. Next is the difference between among and between. Yes, very important, very, very important, that many students get confused. Among is when we compare between many people. Between is when we compare between two people. Okay, if I am comparing between Ram and Sham, so it is between. But if I am comparing among Ram, Sham, Sita, Gita, so now there are many people, so now we use among. Clothes were distributed among the villagers. They divided the fruits among themselves. So there were lots of people. Okay, that's why. There is a matter between you and him. Ravi and Sham divided the toffees between themselves. Now you understand the uses? Right. Now let us see the next one, guys. Next one is the difference between at, in and into. Again, this is something that sometimes it is clear, sometimes it confuses us. So at. Guys, when we talk about at, it represents a small place, a point, okay, like that. It is very cold at this height. So at this point, at this height, it is very cold. We are in a mountain, we are in Leh Ladakh somewhere. So like that. He lives at Noida. Where he lives? At Noida. Okay. We spend our weekend at the VIP club. Like this. Now, what we do is, now let us see in. In is having more than one use. So this is the first usage of in. In refers to some big place. Now this is not a point. Now this is not a small place, but it is related to something big. We live in the city. The keys are in the cupboard. Okay, clear? He lives in Noida. Now what is this? He lives at Noida is also correct. He lives in Noida is also correct. Ma'am, what is the difference? Yes, exactly, guys. This is the difference that imagine that you are seeing a map. Okay, in the map of India, you can see Noida here. Now you are pointing that. See, this is this place. This is Noida. He lives at Noida. So now actually you are just pointing out the small thing. You are pointing out the name. That's it. So just you are pointing out the name. So you want the other person just to focus on the name, nothing else. So now he lives at Noida, you are writing. But when you say he lives in Noida, what it means that you want the other person to imagine Noida also. that there is Noida, such a big Noida. Oh, there is buildings there, lots of things. Okay, in Noida there is a house in which he lives. Now means this is something. Try to imagine that if you want to focus in the big picture, he lives in Noida. Use that. But if you want just the other one to remember the name, he lives at Noida. Now, more examples. In has more use. So other use is when we want to inform about present position, about a present situation, presently what they are doing. Presently students are studying in the class. Don't say inside, don't say into. Into is something. Okay, I will teach you. Fishes are seen in a river. Okay, because it is present tense. They are sitting in the room. There are parks in the city. Now, inside, I went into my house. Now, into means inside. I went into my house. There is a house. I went into the house and I disappeared like that. I kept a 500 rupee note into my purse. Since it is kept into the purse, now I cannot see that from outside. Imagine the sentences. Students went into the class. Now guys, they are sitting in the room. Students are sitting in the room, but students went into the class. Students are sitting in the class. Students are sitting into the class. Now this is something please keep in mind, guys. When we speak about in, we just picture the situation from outside. Try to picture the thing, right? This is the class. When the student is here outside the class, we will say student is going in the class. But when the student has entered into the class, so we will say student is standing inside into the class, like this. Try to understand. Next one, into, more uses of into. Sometimes it signifies speed. Okay, sometimes it signifies motion. Speed I am referring to motion here, verbs here. A frog jumped into the well. He came running into the room. So these are something relating to the first use that I just told you. More uses are that is not related to something here and there, just observations. The police is looking into the matter. Now here into does not have some particular meaning, but into is just used as a helping verb. You can say it is just a preposition. Verb, not a verb, but preposition it is. If you continue this bad habit, you will run into trouble one day. He inquired into the complaint, etc. Let us see more. Beside versus besides. So there is just one difference of S and the meaning changes completely. If I say beside, it means by the side. My brother is standing beside me. You cannot do anything like that. Beside. Please read the examples on your own, guys. There is time constraint. Okay? Then besides. Beside means in addition to. Like I can say, I went to the shop. I went to a jewelry shop, and beside purchasing a ring, I also purchased. I also purchased a necklace. Okay. Now, so beside is what? Something in addition to. Okay. Next, for, since and from. Please pay attention. For is when the time is uncertain. He stayed for 20 days. Okay. He stayed for 20 days. But 20 days we will question in our mind. It will come. Which 20 days? He has been sick in bed for weeks. Someone is telling us. In our mind the question comes. Which week? Have you mentioned as the week? So if the time is not fully mentioned, don't focus on 10-20, but just his classes for 10 days. But which 10 days? You have not mentioned. So that's why you will write for. But when you say since, he has been studying since 1820. I have been living here since 2004. Now we know the date and time, everything. Sometimes since tell us about a period of time also. Man has evolved since the dawn of civilization. He has matured since his father's death. Okay, from, like this, since, from. Please pause it and read it because the video is long and I have to cover more topics. With versus by. Please read it all. It is self-explanatory. Pause it and read it. If you have any problem, comment it down. Under versus below. Please read it. Okay, guys. Then off versus off is also something very important. Please read the things. And that's all for this lesson because The time is going to really up. Okay guys, if you have any question, please comment it down. Thank you.